Hey everybody, it's Katie Geppeli. Today I'm going to spend some time creating some new layers for my mixed media collage work. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I like to work on tracing paper or tissue paper to create some thin transparent layers that I can add on top of my work. So sneak peek, it's going to be really fun and I'm going to make some really pretty papers. So let's get started. All right, so what I have going on here is I have a little pile of tracing paper. As I've said, you can also use tissue paper, but the idea is you want some of this real thin, almost transparent paper, and that's what I really like to use on my collage work. And then I just pulled out a couple of my Posca pens, some other paint markers, as well as just some paints that I had on hand. And this is just a really fun process. You can really zone out on this. Feel free to put on a podcast or play some music in the background. And what I like to do is just make some lines and shapes that I know I like to incorporate into my collage work. Now you might have a different style, so some other patterns or shapes here might be helpful for you, but I tend to stick to just lines, whether they be thick or thin, some squiggles, some scribbles. I just really enjoy shapes that I can put on top of some of my other layers. So because I don't have the patience, I tend to do different sections on the same piece of paper, and then at the end of the video I'll show you how I cut up the different sections and then I can use them in my work. So here I'm going to get a little bit of paint out and use my paintbrush. Before I was using exclusively paint markers, and now moving into actual paint. And again, I tend to use colors that work well with my work, but you may want to use some different colors that you enjoy incorporating into your work. And I'm not looking for perfection here at all. In fact, I kind of like when these colors mix a little bit. This is also a time, if you wanted to, you could do some text on top of this tracing paper. For today, I'm just doing some shapes here. Onto my yellow and green. As you can see, I didn't even worry about washing out my paintbrushes. Just kind of keep going at it. And then these paint markers I've actually really enjoyed using. These are Sharpie brand, and they have a nice soft brush tip to them, and they work really well. And then back to my Posca, this is real thin, so this is a 0.7 millimeter. So this page took me a little bit longer than the others did. Okay, and before you know it, you'll end up with a good little pile of papers here. And there we go. Now you can either keep all of your papers like this as is, or I like to cut them down and divide them by the different shapes that I made. It just makes it easier when I'm working. I'm cutting these with scissors, but of course you can tear the different sections off if you would like. And I'll speed this up here so you can kind of see how I do this. And again, I spent less than an hour creating these pages and now cutting them up. So now I'll be good to go for a while with my supplies here in terms of my layering sheets. All right, there we go. And then I do have a little zip bag that I'm gonna start using for these larger sheets that I can keep this in. This will definitely be filled up soon because I'm definitely going to be adding some more layers, but Then when I am creating my collage, I can just pull from here, easy peasy. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions with this process, feel free to reach out. And thank you all for being here, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.